Namaste everyone, welcome to Physio Vitals. I'm Dr. Ankita Savant and today's video is about scapula. So, scapula is a thin bone placed on the posterior lateral aspect of the thoracic cage. It has two surfaces, costal and dorsal. Costal means anterior surface and dorsal means posterior surface. Three borders, medial, lateral and superior border. Three angles, superior, inferior and lateral angle. Three processes, spinous process, coracoid process and acromion process. Moving further to the site determination. So, the lateral angle is large and bears the glenoid cavity. This is the dorsal surface and here this marked point is the lateral angle which has the glenoid cavity. Here the head of humerus comes and articulates and forms the shoulder joint. So that is glenoid cavity. Dorsal surface means posterior surface is convex and is divided by spine of scapula. This surface is dorsal and it is divided by spine of scapula. This is spine of scapula. Now, costal surface which means anterior surface is occupied by concave subscapular fossa. This is the anterior means costal surface which occupies it is concave and has subscapular fossa. This area is subscapular fossa. Thickest larger border runs from the glenoid cavity above the inferior angle. Thickest larger border which runs from the glenoid cavity above the inferior angle. This is the inferior angle. Moving further to the features. In features we have costal surface and dorsal surface. So, costal surface which means anterior surface is marked by three longitudinal ridge. This three longitudinal ridge and gives insertion to serratus anterior. Dorsal surface which means the posterior surface has spine of scapula. Here this is the dorsal surface. So, the dorsal surface is divided by spine of scapula. Now we'll further proceed to the borders. So, we have borders superior border, medial border and lateral border. Superior border is thin. Superior border this is thin. Root of coracoid process presents suprascapular notch. We can see here. This is the suprascapular notch. This is the root of coracoid and here it is suprascapular notch. Alright. Lateral border is thick. Upper end presents infraglenoid tubercle. Now we'll see the lateral border. This is the lateral border which is thick and above it has infraglenoid tubercle. Moving further to the medial border. Medial border is thin and extends from superior to inferior angle. This is the medial border. This is the superior angle. This is the inferior. So, extends from superior angle to the inferior angle. Alright. Moving further to the angles. Angles, superior angle, lateral, inferior angle. Superior angle covered by trapezius muscle. This is the superior angle which gets covered by trapezius muscle. Then inferior angle. In inferior angle at the upper end, inferior angle is covered by the latissimus dorsi. It moves forwards round the chest when the arm is abducted. Alright. Now moving on to the lateral angle. Lateral angle is broad and bears the glenoid cavity or fossa. We have processes as well. So, we have three processes. Spinous process, coracoid process and acromion process. Now, we'll see the attachments. We have multipinnate subscapularis arises from the medial two-third of the subscapular fossa. Alright, so we have this area, this muscle is subscapularis, which arises from the medial. This is the which surface? This is costal surface. So subscapularis muscle arises from the medial two-third of the subscapular fossa. Alright, we saw here this is the subscapular fossa. Here exactly the subscapularis muscle arises. Moving further, supraspinatus. Supraspinatus arises, see this area. This is the spine of the scapula. This muscle over here is supraspinatus. This is infraspinatus. Above the spine of process is supra and below the spine is infra. That's why it has been named as supra and infra spinatus muscle. Alright. Then moving further to deltoid. Now deltoid muscle. We'll see here. The deltoid muscle arises from the lower border of the crest of spine. This is the crest of spine. This is the crest of spine and from the lateral border of the acromion. Alright, lateral border of acromion. The acromion fibers are multipinnate. Moving further to trapezius. Now trapezius muscle, as we can see here, this is the trapezius muscle is inserted. Alright, it is inserted onto the upper border of the crest of the spine and into the medial border of acromion. Now serratus anterior. Serratus anterior, again the costal surface. This is serratus anterior. Is inserted along the medial border of the costal surface. One digitation from the superior angle to the root of spine, 2 digitations to the medial border and 5 digitation to the inferior angle. So this 5 digitations, first digitation 2 and 5 digitations to the inferior angle. Now we'll see biceps. Long head of biceps arises from the supraglenoid tubercle. See here, this is glenoid cavity, right? This is supraglenoid and this is infraglenoid. Alright, supra, just like we saw in this is crest of spine of scapula. Above it is supra and below is infraspinatus. Same way, this is glenoid cavity. We have here supraglenoid tubercle and infraglenoid tubercle. So this is long head of biceps arises from the supraglenoid tubercle and the short head from the lateral part of the tip of the coracoid process. This is the coracoid process and this is the lateral part where the short head of biceps arises. Alright. So moving further to coracobrachialis. Coracobrachialis muscle arises. See, coracobrachialis, same, arises from the medial part of the tip of the coracoid process. From the medial part of the coracoid process it arises. Moving further to pectoralis minor. Pectoralis minor is inserted. Alright, pectoralis minor here is inserted into the medial border and superior surface of the coracoid process. Pectoralis minor muscle is inserted into the medial border and superior surface of coracoid process. This is the medial border of the coracoid process and superior surface of coracoid process. Moving further, long head of triceps. Now long head of triceps here. This is infraglenoid tubercle. So it arises from the infraglenoid tubercle. Next is teres minor. Teres minor arises from the upper 2/3 of the rough strip on the dorsal surface along the lateral border. Alright, teres minor arises from the upper 2/3 of the rough strip of the dorsal surface along the lateral border. This is the lateral border and this is the dorsal surface. So upper 2/3 में teres minor arises. Moving further to teres major. Teres major over here. So it arises from the lower 1/3. Minor was upper 2/3. Major is lower 1/3 of the rough strip of the dorsal aspect of the lateral border. Same way. Alright. Moving further to levator scapula. Levator scapula. Now see over here this levator scapula. This portion. So it gets inserted along the dorsal aspect of the dorsal aspect, the right posterior aspect of the medial border. This is the medial border from the superior angle up to the root of spine. This is the superior angle and this is the root of spine. Alright, this is the superior angle and this is the root of spine. Alright, so levator scapulae. Moving further to rhomboids minor. This is rhomboid minor. Is inserted into the medial border, dorsal aspect के medial border opposite the root of spine. Just opposite the root of spine. This is the root of spine. Moving further to rhomboid major. Now rhomboid major is over here. Alright. So it is inserted into the medial border. Exactly medial border of dorsal aspect between the root of the spine and the inferior angle. This is the root of the spine and inferior angle. Moving further, the inferior belly of the omohyoid arises. Omohyoid. Wait a minute. Here, omohyoid. So the inferior belly of the omohyoid arises from the upper border near the suprascapular notch. Alright. Then the margin of the glenoid cavity gives attachment to the capsule of the shoulder joint and to the glenoid labrum. Capsule of the shoulder joint here. Moving further, the margin of the facet on the medial aspect of the acromion gives attachment to the capsule of the acromioclavicular joint. Alright, acromioclavicular joint capsule. This is the clavicular facet. The coracoacromial ligament is attached to the lateral border of the coracoacromial ligament is attached to the lateral border of the coracoid process to the medial surface of the tip of acromion process. Now coracoacromial ligament. Coracoacromial ligament is coracoid and acromion. So this over here is the coracoacromial ligament. Alright. Moving further to coracohumeral ligament. This over here is coracohumeral ligament. Coracoclavicular ligament is attached to the coracoid process, the trapezoid part on the superior aspect and the conoid part near the root. Now we are going to see the coracoclavicular ligament. Here. This is the coracoclavicular ligament which has two parts, trapezoid part and the conoid part. The trapezoid part on the superior aspect and the conoid part near the root. Moving further to the transverse ligament. Transverse ligament bridges across the suprascapular notch and converts it into the foramen which transmits the suprascapular nerve. The suprascapular vessels lie above the ligament. The splenoglenoid ligament. We'll see the splenoglenoid ligament. Here is this area is the splenoglenoid ligament. This. Alright. So splenoglenoid ligament may bridge the splenoglenoid notch. Obviously it bridges the notch. The suprascapular vessels and the nerve pass deep to it. Now we'll see, moving further to the ossification. So attachments, we have total 23 attachments. Now moving further to the ossification. So it has one primary and 7 secondary centers. So primary center near glenoid cavity during the 8th week of development. And the 7 secondary centers, the first center appears in the middle of the coracoid process during the first year and fuses to the 15th year. So in this diagram all the centers are clear. So this is the first coracoid process and the first secondary center. The subcoracoid center appears in the root of coracoid fossa. So this is the subcoracoid center during the 10th year and fuses, during fuses by the 16th to 18th year. The other centers include 2 for the acromion, 1 for the lower 1/3 of the margin of the glenoid cavity, 1 for the medial border and 1 for the inferior angle. Appear at the puberty and fuses by the 25th year. So now the fun fact for practical importance with the acromion. If the two centers appearing for acromion fails to unite, the two centers appearing for the acromion fails to unite. If they don't unite, it may be interpreted as a fracture on radiological examination. So in such cases, what should we do? In such cases, a radiograph of the opposite acromion will mostly reveal similar failure of union. Now clinical anatomy. Paralysis of serratus anterior. What is winging of scapula? When there is paralysis of serratus anterior, that causes the winging of scapula. The medial border of the bone becomes unduly prominent and the arm cannot be abducted beyond 90 degree. As you can see in this diagram, this is the medial border. This is winging of scapula. Then what is scaphoid scapula? Scaphoid scapula is a developmental anomaly in which the medial border is concave. Alright. I hope you liked the video and was useful. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. The next topic will be, I'll be covering the humerus bone. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much.